some stories warm your heart, and then quietly change the way you see the world. This is one of those stories, a reminder that even the smallest act of giving can spark a chain of miracles you never saw coming. This is the story of how a single act of kindness from a little girl transformed the life of a man everyone had forgotten, and how giving, not receiving, became his greatest gift. In a busy city street, life moved fast. Cars honked, footsteps hurried, and eyes rarely met. But on one worn-out corner, a man sat every single day, an empty tin can at his feet, and hope slowly fading from his eyes. People passed by. Some tossed in a few coins without looking. Most didn't stop at all. To them, he was just part of the background, like a lamppost or a trash bin. His clothes were torn, his hair unkempt, and his spirit even more broken. Day after day, he waited for help that never truly came. One chilly afternoon, as the shadows grew long, a little schoolgirl stopped in front of him. She had bright eyes, a warm scarf, and a bag that looked far too heavy for her small frame. She looked at him for a moment, and then, in a voice barely above a whisper, she asked, "You always ask for help, but have you ever tried giving something first?" He chuckled bitterly. "Give? I have nothing to give," he replied. But without a word, the girl reached into her bag, pulled out a small loaf of bread, placed it gently in his hands, and walked away. That night, the man sat in the cold, staring at the bread. He was hungry, painfully hungry, but then he saw it, a stray puppy shivering under a broken crate, its ribs visible under wet fur. Something inside him stirred, something he hadn't felt in a long time. He broke the bread in half, placed one piece beside the puppy, and watched as it wagged its tail for the first time that night. The next morning, something had changed. Instead of sitting with an empty tin, he began picking up trash from a street corner. He greeted people who passed by. He offered directions to strangers. And for the first time in years, he smiled. At first, people didn't notice, but slowly they began to. One man stopped to hand him a hot drink. A woman brought a thick winter coat. And as days went by, the tin can began to fill faster than ever before. Not just with coins, but with kindness. Rainy days didn't stop him. Cold winds didn't break him. He kept helping, kept giving, kept smiling. Because somewhere deep inside, that little loaf of bread had planted something new in his heart. Hope. Then, one morning, he was gone. The street corner sat empty. Some thought he had left town. Others feared the worst. Weeks passed, and the city forgot about the man with the tin can. But not the little girl. One rainy afternoon, she was walking home when she noticed something new. A small shop, warm light spilling from its windows. Above the door was a wooden sign that read, "Little Loaf Bakery." She peeked inside, and there he was. No longer in torn clothes, no longer shivering in the cold, but standing tall, smiling behind the counter, handing out free bread to children in need. On the wall behind him hung a single-frame picture of a small loaf of bread, with a handwritten note beneath it. "The day you start giving is the day you start living." Soft, warm tone. And in that moment, the little girl understood. Sometimes a single act of kindness can change an entire life. A little loaf, given with love, had started a chain of kindness that changed a man's life and the lives of many others. Sometimes, the smallest gift holds the greatest power.